She's ready.
Hey yo, this is Dash.
Yeah. All right, so as you saw, I'm actually back out at the smoker, back at Bessie, and I have my brisket and I have my pork shoulder ready to go into the smoker. It is 5:56. My plan was to get up this morning at 4:30, get my fire going, get everything seasoned, show this off to you guys, and have my big pieces of meat going in the smoker by 6 o'clock. Right on schedule, right on schedule. You figure a good hour and a half to 2 hours to get your smoker ready to cook. Depending on the size of the smoker, your results or your mileage may vary, okay? But it's almost 6 o'clock. Like I said, I wanna go ahead and get the meat in the smoker. So I'm gonna get my pork shoulder and my brisket into the smoker. Those are my big pieces of meat. Now, if I wasn't on such a timetable, now I will tell you this, and this will probably be the last time I mention exactly what time it is. You guys will have to figure out for yourselves how long it's going to take you to cook something. I don't cook for time. I cannot stress it enough. I do not cook for time. I cook to internal temperature. This is why I'm talking all the time. This is why I preach so much about thermometers, having a good thermometer, having wireless thermometers, having the ability to monitor your smoker and your meat temperature from a distance. So you don't have to be out in it's not even 30 degrees right now. So you don't have to be out in the cold if you don't need to. Also, it prevents and helps you from opening up your smoker lots and lots of time to stick a probe into your smoker. If you have a good wireless one, you know, one that you can look at from a distance, then you don't have to open up your smoker at all. They sell a lot of different types of wireless thermometers or thermometers. They have some that are Bluetooth, they have some that work on Wi-Fi. The ones that I have, the ones that I use them because of the fact that it's a good distance between my house and my garage where the smoker actually is. So I can't use Bluetooth and I can't use Wi-Fi because I don't have anything that will be close enough to those actual, to the transmitters for me to be able to monitor it in the house. But nonetheless, let me stop talking. I'm gonna get the brisket and the pork shoulder in the smoker. Time to glove up. Before I forget, I have my smoker sitting currently at 275 degrees. I throttled the intake down to get it down to 275. By the time I open up the smoker and get this the meat that I'm putting in there in the smoker and close it back up, we will climb right back up to about 250 degrees. I want to stay between 225 and 275, aiming for 250. That's just me. That's just how I like to run this smoker. If I need to run it hotter, I can. If I need to run it lower, I can. So just a little heads up. There's my thermometer telling on me, hey, it's under 235 degrees. Now, the reason why I put this piece of foil down is nothing other than to catch anything that I drop. One, to keep it off the floor. Two, to keep it off the shelf. It's far easier for me to clean up this aluminum foil or pick up this piece of aluminum foil than it is to clean this, especially during the winter when I don't have a good water source out to my garage or in my garage. First things first, the brisket. Now all of the little bits of seasoning that came off one in transport, I try and get a couple of it or get some of it on my hand to put back onto the brisket. Doesn't always work. But we got a little bit of seasoning back on there. And next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get the pork shoulder up and on. That's it. Usually I wouldn't let the door slam like that, but I didn't take the gloves off first. And I want to talk to you guys for a quick second about the gloves. Some of you guys are paying attention and you're like, he didn't change his gloves. Yes, I touch chicken before I touch beef. I'll touch beef before I touch pork. Typically, pork is the last thing that I touch. And when it's going into the smoker, I don't have a problem using the same glove. But you have to, you have to be mindful, you have to be wary of those who have dietary restrictions when you're cooking. At least I do. I usually do not touch anything after I touch pork. Sometimes I will touch chicken, change my gloves, then I will touch beef, and then I will touch pork. I try to tend not to touch chicken and then touch anything else because, you know, salmonella and other things like that. Even though I know that I'm going to be cooking this meat thoroughly and it'll go past any temperature guideline that is necessary, like, you know, USDA or the FDA, any of those food service temperatures, they hit inside and beyond in the smoker. So yes, I do still have on the same gloves. I touch my brisket first and then I touch my pork shoulder. And obviously, time to change them. If anybody's interested or cares, this is, between the two of these, this is glove number 5 that I've used already this morning. And it's only 6 o'clock. I told you guys in that video before, the video is up in the corner. I can't tell you which corner because I think it's backwards, and yeah, anyway, it's up in the corner. It'd be that corner or that corner talking about gloves. If you haven't seen it already, do yourself a favor and go watch it. Okay, so I have my smoker loaded, and or at least I have it loaded with the beef and the pork. So you're probably asking yourself, what do you do to kill time? Or what are you gonna do now? You said that you had chicken to cook, brisket to cook, pork shoulder to cook, and salmon to cook. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead on back in the house. I'm gonna take my time and get my chicken seasoned up while the brisket and the pork shoulder start. Because of the fact that the brisket and the pork shoulder take longer, there's no need for me to rush and put everything in at the same time. There are plenty of times when I do put everything in the smoker at the same time, but today I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to take my time. I'm not rushing this cook, and I'm just gonna take my time. So we're headed back in the house. Let's see. I'm already at 2,100 steps, and I'm headed back in the house, and I'm gonna get I have some chicken thighs as well as some chicken breasts. I'm gonna get them prepped and seasoned, and then I'll bring them back out here. I will probably shoot for another, it's not gonna take me an hour to get them seasoned or anything, but I'll shoot to have them in the smoker at 7 o'clock so that I can have a time point to start to know when I have to do other things involving the cook, if that makes sense. Like, I'll smoke them for a certain period of time naked, then I'll put some sauce on them, let them smoke for a little bit longer, then I'll wrap everything up. Or actually, the chicken I don't necessarily wrap up. But I want you to understand that there are times when you use time to cook, but not to tell me how long it's gonna take for my entire cook. I just use it to key off of different things that I do while I'm cooking. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and get back in the house and get my chicken.